Okay, so picture this. You're watching a massive T20 World Cup game, England versus the West Indies. The crowd is going wild, the tension is high, and then suddenly this flashes across your screen. A player is out. It's a huge moment, but what on earth does that actually mean? Who did what? This right here, this is our mystery to solve.
Yeah, I know, it looks like a whole lot of jargon. It's super easy to just get overwhelmed and tune out. But trust me, every single part of that sentence tells a critical piece of the story. So let's just break it down step by step and figure out what's really going on behind the scenes.
So, that entire line of text, it all boils down to one single massive event. A player, Phil Salt, is out. He's been dismissed. And in cricket, that's called losing a wicket. And honestly, it's pretty much the biggest deal in the game. So let's start right there. All right, so here is the secret decoder ring. That little B stands for the bowler, Romario Shepherd. He's the guy who threw the ball. The C stands for caught by, and that's the fielder, Sherfane Rutherford. So to put it all together, Phil Salt hit the ball that Shepherd bowled, and Rutherford caught it before it touched the ground. Salt's turn to bat. It's over. Simple as that. Okay, so we get the instant replay, the one moment where a player got out. But cricket is this huge, sprawling game. How does that one little moment fit into the grand scheme of things? Well, for that, we've got to zoom out and take a look at the main scoreboard. Think of this as your command center for the entire match. ENG 59-1. Pretty straightforward, right? That means England, who's batting, has scored 59 runs, and that little -1 you see? Yep, that's the one wicket they've lost. That's Phil Salt's dismissal we just decoded. But what about all those other abbreviations? Let's dig in. First up is CRR. That stands for current run rate. The easiest way to think about this is like a speedometer for the batting team. Right now, England's CRR is 11.42. That means, on average, they're scoring just over 11 runs every 6 balls. It tells you exactly how fast they're putting points on the board. Now, if CRR is the speed you are going, REQ, or required run rate, is the speed you need to go to win. England's required rate is 9.3, and because their current rate, 11.42, is higher than what's required, they're actually ahead of the pace. They're beating the clock, which is a great place to be. And what is that finish line they're racing towards? That's the target, or TAR. So the West Indies batted before England, and they scored 196 runs. That means for England to win this whole thing, they have to get to 197. That's the magic number. All right, so we've got the bird's eye view of the teams. But, cricket really comes down to those intense, individual battles between players. So now, let's zoom in on the player stats and see who's really writing the story of this match right now. And here's the tale of the tape. On the left, England's batters. Jos Buttler's going steady. A run-a ball. But look at Jacob Bethel. Wow. 19 runs off just 9 balls. He's flying. Then on the right, the West Indies bowlers. Romario Shepherd has been great. He got that big wicket and hasn't given away many runs. Akeal Hussain, on the other hand, a little more expensive.
But hang on a second. There is one number here that just absolutely jumps off the page. It's tied to Jacob Bethel, and honestly, it tells you everything you need to know about what kind of night he's having.
That massive number is Jacob Bethel's strike rate. So what is that? It's basically a measure of his scoring speed, how many runs he scores per 100 balls. A strike rate of 100 is solid. It's 1 run per ball. Bethel's is over 200. I mean, that is just explosive. The guy is absolutely on fire, and he's completely taking over the game. So we've been looking at what's already happened. But the really cool thing about a scorecard is that it can also give you a little peek into the future. Let's look at the stats the pros use to predict where the game is headed. And this is one of my favorite tools for that, the win probability. A computer runs thousands of simulations based on the current score, who's batting, and so on. And right now, even after losing that wicket, England is a slight favorite at 53%. What that tells us is that this game is unbelievably close. It is on a knife's edge. And there are other little nuggets of info that really fill in the picture. The partnership stat shows that Buttler and Batehole are clicking. They're working well together. Last wicket is a quick reminder of just how well Phil Salt was playing before he got out. And last 5 overs shows England's recent momentum. 55 runs is a huge haul. Okay, so we've got all these different numbers, these stats, this big picture view. But how does that all connect to the actual, live action? Let's look at the ball-by-ball commentary to see how all this data gets built one delivery at a time. Let's just take one over, the 4th over of the match. You can literally watch the story unfold in just these 6 balls. The first ball, a single run. Then ball 2, bam,
a boundary for 4 runs. Ball 3, another 4. Then a quiet ball, and then bam, a third boundary. This is the micro-drama, the play-by-play that builds up all those big stats we were just looking at.
So, let's put it all together. From now on, you can decode any cricket match with just 3 simple steps. First, check the main score. Get that big picture, who's on top. Second, dive into the player stats. Find the story, who's the hero, who's struggling. And third, look at those key stats like win probability to see where the game might be going. This is your toolkit. You're all set.